to talk about a very important pro habit of setting your feet. So we've talked about position, and when I use the term position today, it covers angle, squareness, and depth. Just for simplification, I'm going to just use the word position today, which covers all three of those. So your whole goal before the shot is released is to be in position with your feet set. We're going to talk about the objectives of having our feet set. The first one is to maintain that pro habit of forward lean. That's having our weight forward. Being on balance, which we've talked about in previous videos, that's the most important habit of beating passes to get into position on time. If we're moving backwards, our balance is going to be off when a shot's released. So having our feet set here keeps our shoulders over our knees, keeps our weight forward. The second one is our bodies just don't move in two directions at once. So if a shot is released and she's moving backwards, it becomes very hard to also move laterally into a shot. So that's why anytime a shot is taken, we want to have our feet set so we can shift our weight into a shot. So important to have our feet set so we can shift laterally into a shot. The third one is if Naomi's set here, as she backs in, you'll notice more and more of that net becomes open. So this is where depth is really important, is that when that shot is released, come back out, that she is set to help maximize coverage of that net and she's in the right position. So those are the three main objectives. If I added in a fourth one, it would be when she makes that save, she's in position with that forward lean. So when she controls that puck, or if we do give up a bad rebound, she's on balance to recover properly to get into position to make that next save. We're going to show you what feet set looks like and what it doesn't look like. So Naomi's in her ready stance here. She's at her center ice angle on position. So her feet are set, they're not moving. This is what we want it to look like before a shot is released. Too often though, goalies will be backing in, what we call flow. They'll be backing in when the shot is released. So when they butterfly, now they're giving up too much of the net. Usually what happens, their weight ends up going back, and as they butterfly, they slide backwards towards the net. Becomes very hard to control where a puck goes. They give up too much of the net, which usually leads to goals, and their weight goes back, and they just end up all over the place. So that's what a tendency, especially at the young ages of goalies, is to not have their feet set when a shot is released. Before we get into some examples with some shots, we do want you to understand that there are some times where you're not going to have your feet set on entry. And that is when we don't have numbers. So a breakaway situation, a 2-on-0, a 2-on-1, a 3-on-2. So any time where there's a numerical advantage for the opponent. So you would not have your feet set, you'd have a little bit of what we call backwards flow. So you have some momentum to beat a pass across, or on a breakaway situation, if there's a deep, to beat that player to the post. This is an example of a 3-on-2 entry situation where at the start, we don't want to have our feet set. So puck's carried in through the middle. It's immediately kicked wide. Naomi beats that pass. Skater comes down, little bit of flow. It's passed across. She beats that pass. Now her feet are set before that shot is released. So that's a situation where, yes, that puck is passed wide, but she reads it's not immediately going to be shot. So she has a little bit of backwards flow. So when that pass is laterally made across the ice, she can beat that pass across. Once that pass was received across the ice, she would have her feet set. Now, the same situation, Naomi's got a little bit of flow. Again, we don't have numbers, so 3-on-2. Puck was kicked wide, but there's a shot. So she has a little bit of flow in case there is a pass, but then she reads that a shot is taken, so she immediately sets her feet right away. So pass is kicked wide, little bit of flow, reads a shot, sets her feet. So we're gonna give you a couple examples here, what might be a 2-on-2 or a 1-on-1, where a player's cutting in and Naomi's just shuffling to stay in position. Just before the shot is released, she sets her feet so she can shift her way into the shot and efficiently make the save. Now, just a situation, it could be on a power play or in zone. Pass is made high to low. Naomi beats the pass. She gets into position, sets her feet, has forward lean, tracks the puck all the way in, is over top of the puck, makes the save. Focus. One more example, could be on a power play, puck goes high to low to a flank, lateral pass across to another flank, or on an entry, puck's kicked wide, lateral pass is made. Naomi's got a little bit of flow, beats the pass, feet are set before the shot is released. Good. One more. When I'm reviewing video with any of the goalies I work with in person or any of my clients virtually, the first thing I'm always looking for is, are they in position? And then the second thing is, are their feet set? It's such an important habit. And when I'm working with younger goalies, especially U12, U10, it's a habit that is very hard. You want to move, you want to move, you want to move. Well, yeah, you want to move laterally, shuffling, T-pushing, but goalies feel comfortable, especially when there's traffic situations closer back to their goal line. We got to break that habit and we got to set our feet. So coaches, goalies of all age levels, we need to emphasize the pro habit of goalies setting their feet. Get into position and set their feet. The perfect time to do this is at the start of practice when you're doing flow drills, entry drills. You know, there's 20, 30, 40, 50 shots of practice where players are coming in and they're supposed to take a shot, you know, by the top of the circles, or even if, you know, they're not doing it right, which is in most cases, and they're shooting by the hash marks, still not taking breakaways at the start of practice, but emphasize the goalie shuffling to stay in position. And then when the shot is released, just set their feet. Even if you don't have a goalie coach, you can have an assistant coach or a parent coach, whoever it is, stay down with a goalie at one end, maybe for 2 or 3 minutes, then go down with the other goalie for 2 or 3 minutes and just watch. All you need to look at, okay, when the shot is released, did the goalie have their feet set? That's it. That right there alone, over the course of the season, is going to help your team give up so many less goals, and through doing so is going to improve the goaltender's confidence so much. So coaches, please do this with your goalies. It's going to help them. and you don't need to know about the position. All you need to look at is, are the feet moving or not? And just tell the goalie to set their feet. You don't even need a drill. You could just have a goalie do one shuffle to the center ice angle, and then you could shoot a puck on them if you have time with a goalie, and just have their feet set and shoot the puck right at them. That's it. So very simple habit for coaches to develop with their goalies is having their feet set, and it can go a long way towards their development and the success of your team.